Imagine going to bed worried about an uncertain future. That is the reality for thousands of immigrants wondering if they'll have to leave their homes for good. All of this because the Supreme Court allowed the Trump administration to revoke humanitarian parole, which allowed more than 500,000 people to live and work legally in the United States. Our NBC's 10's Shaira Arias spoke to some affected by this policy change and a lawyer about what lies ahead for this community.
Good evening. We spoke to a nonprofit organization that tells us that at least in our area, there are over 15,000 people that have this parole. We spoke to someone who has the parole and is vulnerable to being deported.
When you see this happen, it's very upsetting because definitely we're not going just after the criminals.
Over 500,000 immigrants in the U.S. woke up today to find out their legal status is no longer valid. On Friday, the Supreme Court gave President Trump the green light to revoke the temporary legal status of thousands of immigrants from Venezuela, Cuba, Haiti, and Nicaragua, immigrants that entered the country legally under the humanitarian parole that was granted by the Biden administration. Emilio Buitrago is the founder of the nonprofit organization Casa de Venezuela. He says those affected by the Supreme Court's decision are contributing to the country's economy.
People that came basically on an airplane on a port of entry, people that are contributing to our society, hard workers.
Like Jose, who came to the U.S. 2 years ago under the program. He told us he left behind his entire family in Venezuela in search for the American dream. Under the policy, he was able to open a business, and now he says he's unsure what the future holds.
Some of them have been here for less than 2 years, and the courts are terminating their proceedings, and ICE is waiting for them outside the court to be removed.
Immigration lawyer Tessie Ortiz says those impacted should get legal help because there might be other avenues available to stay in the country.
We need to see if they have an alternate, relief, asylum, if marriage, U visas.
The Department of Homeland Security called the Supreme Court's decision a victory for the American people. They say it corrected an error made by the Biden administration. As far as what lies ahead for this community, the Supreme Court sent the case back to a court of appeals. Those who advocate for immigrant rights tell us that the TPS Alliance, as well as the Boston Justice Center, are both working to figure out a way to keep this community in the country legally. In Philadelphia, Shaira Arias, NBC 10 News.